have had people from China wanting us to move the manufacturing over there, but that's not what we're about. Because if we did that, 20 people here wouldn't have a job. So
I have an extreme passion for serving good local food, and that's what I had all summer, and that's what I did. And people loved it. People kept coming back.
Go with your heart. If you feel that it's going to work, and you're passionate enough about it, then give it a go.
I'm Linda Nobles, and I'm one of the owners of Belfast Mini Mills. Well, we're control freaks, so we try to do absolutely everything. So the main business is the manufacturing of the equipment. I run a mill year-round so that I can answer any questions when people phone from Australia or wherever with a problem. We give free mill tours year-round, so mostly in the summertime. We have our store that's open year-round. We are starting a PEI fibre trail this year, so we're hooking up all the other fibre locations on the island. We give classes, we give knitting classes, weaving classes, felting classes, locker hooking, and that's something that's really growing. And we have animals for the kids to pet. We have a llama, some sheep, cows, petting farm. So we're an international company. We're in 30 countries right now with our equipment, with over 180 installations, which is good because it's fresh money that we're bringing into the province too. Because we're spread out all over the world, even though different things are going on, we don't have all of our eggs in one basket. And the mill runs year-round because we used to have 3,000 people come, and we used to boast about that. Oh, we're way out in the country, 3,000 people. That's grown to over 15,000, 16,000 people. Started out as a family business, so that's nice. But yeah, and we keep our employees full-time because they're very valuable to us. It's not like we can just hire people with the skills that we need. So we invest a lot of time, and they've become like family also, because some of them have been with us for 16, 17 years. So I've had people from China wanting us to move the manufacturing over there, but that's not what we're about. Because if we did that, 20 people here wouldn't have a job. So no, we're going to keep doing what we do. And all that, so it really turns garbage into gold. Well, the guys in the family that started the company just have those weird kind of brains that can figure stuff out. Nobody had formal training. Our guy that's gone all over the world, he's got pictures of giant spiders and scorpions, and we're in Libya. Our guy had to contend with cobras in the mill. When we were trying to set up in Norway, the volcano blew up in Iceland, so we couldn't get our guys in because of volcanic ash clouds. When we were in Libya, we were just flying our guy in with a second load of equipment when the war broke out. We have to be aware of political situations. A lot of the countries, it's not safe for women to go and train. So it's a very interesting business. Our main strength is we give such good backup. I mean, people phone us, well, they forget what time it is in New Zealand, and so we get calls like 2:30 in the morning, but we're always there to answer questions, because when people have a mini mill, and it's usually a family business, they're running it, right through the year too. So if they have a question, we want to be there to solve it for them. So. And I don't think you'd get that support from a big company.
We bought the trailer in May, and we opened up the end of May, just doing little tests, trying foods out, seeing what people liked, seeing what they didn't like. hamburgers seemed to be taken off through the trailer, and so we designed like an 8 hamburger menu and just home cut fries, and it took off. I was like, well, what can I do with the toppings that have my burgers? So then I came up with the tacos, the grilled cheese, the different poutines, and we designed that menu for the trailer up the Ave there, and that's what we built for the summer, was that idea. And each item came from like a different occasion. Like sometimes it'd be a late night, I'd be there, and I'd just like throw a couple things together and I'd be like, oh, this is great. So then I'd put on the menu. Everything was pretty much mine, except for the color orange. Bought the trailer orange, so it came with that color, and the name of the orange lunchbox slowly emerged from time. I have an extreme passion for serving good local food, and that's what I had all summer, and that's what I did, and people loved it. People kept coming back. So there was a demand. People were like, we don't want you to close, we want you to open a restaurant somewhere we can sit in, have a beer, have a burger. And we shopped and we looked around. There was other locations that could have happened, and they just weren't as feasible as this one. And one day, miraculously, this fell into my lap, and I jumped on it, and here we are. There's no prepackaged fish that's portioned. There's no pre-cut fries. Although we did this summer when we went to Cavendish, bought some, and we regretted it. We were forced to. We went to the country festival. They forced us to buy their fries, and now we're regretting it. I still have 20 cases that I'm sitting on because I won't sell them, and people won't eat them. My customers love our hand-cut fries. Like, it's that whole element of everything being homemade, fresh, every day. Like, we make our buns, we make our sauces, everything we make. We just get the ingredients in and transform them.
I'm Glenda.
I'm Jordy.
Nice to meet you, Jordy. Hi, Glenda. I'm Jessie. Nice to meet you. Hi, Jessie.
Glenda Burt. I am the owner of the Home Place Inn and Restaurant here in Kensington, and have been operating this business since 1997. What we do is, under the one roof, really, we have a bed and breakfast, a restaurant, and we also do meat pies. We have a meat pie production facility in the lower level. We sell our products across PEI to various grocery stores. For instance, Sobeys, Superstores, the co-ops, KJL Select Meats. I think that's, and some Save Easy, those kind of things. There's some up west as well, and down east, some stores as well. And it's something that we think about, in the past probably 4 or 5 years we've been thinking about that. The challenge we have with that is it going to be viable? So that's where we're at right now. We're looking at a business plan, putting together, and seeing if that's something that a next step we would like to take. So it is definitely something that we are looking at. Primarily with the meat pies, there's no one else really doing a homemade product such as this that we do. So there's not really any competition in that area. As far as restaurants go and B&Bs, there are others in the area, but we are based right here in Kensington, and our hours are that we are primarily seasonal, but then we stay open during the winter months, not the bed and breakfast as such, but the restaurant with scaled back hours. We buy it locally in the summertime, it's seasonally, and if not, we have to tap into the wholesalers, but primarily locally we purchase. Well, it's been a challenge over the years. As I mentioned, we started in '97, so when we first started out, you're going into something blind because a new business, and we just had to basically try things year after year, and if they didn't work out, you would just modify and change as you go along. The hours of operation. You know, when I was quite aggressive and wanted to be open 7 days a week from 7 o'clock in the morning for breakfast until 9 o'clock at night. We close our doors, and that was going to be our hours. And we were going to be a full-service restaurant. And then we started to discover that, okay, breakfast isn't so profitable. And, you know, is the time invested in that, you know, very meaningful? And if you're not making the dollars. So what we've had to do over the years is just make those changes accordingly. We dropped breakfast altogether except for the B&B. We scaled back lunches so that we would just be open July and August, and because the population increases in the summertime, and we don't have the same demographics as what a restaurant has in Halifax. So we feel that being open in the wintertime on Friday and Saturday evenings for the restaurant does well, as opposed to be open every night of the week. And same with the lunches. July and August works. The shoulder seasons, they don't work. So over the years, you just really make changes as you go along. I just feel that we get the opportunity to have local produce, fresh produce. We have everything on PEI we can utilize, whether it's your meats or to access things, and that's an advantage. As far as I just feel it's a great place to live too and raise a family, and to be able to be an entrepreneur on PEI with what I do, I feel very fortunate. I think just incentives as far as wage subsidies are very helpful, you know, with hiring students or even mature workers. Anything like that is a real benefit to businesses. I know, you know, in the past it's been really helpful for me. So otherwise, you know, I wouldn't be able to hire on that extra employee if I didn't have the help with a wage subsidy. So those programs are really beneficial for me. Do your homework, really. Have a business plan. If it's something you want to try, maybe work, whatever it is, work in that industry and work under someone to get a feel for the business, and try that out and see if it's something that is really that you're passionate about. And like I mentioned, business plan is very important. See if it is going to be viable, and go with your heart. If you feel that it's going to work and you're passionate enough about it, then give it a go. If you've got, you know, good support and that type of thing. I like sauces, so I really like, and I love fish, so I think baked haddock with a white wine sauce, to me, I love that recipe. I love that dish, I guess you could say. I would say we have, you know, majority are local people, and we tend to cater to local people, and we find in return they tell people, and then visitors and alike, and then which is a word of mouth, and it's a really good spin-off that we receive from that. Actually, this house was owned by my in-laws, and they were looking to sell it, and we were looking to purchase property. We knew we wanted to open up a restaurant in Kensington. We were looking for land actually to build a restaurant, and we couldn't. Location was key, so we wanted to find a place that would be suitable. We weren't able to buy land. Attempted to, but it didn't work out, and so my in-laws were looking to sell this house. Something they didn't want to have anymore, and so then I presented the idea to my husband and said, well, what if we took that house made changes and actually put a B&B with it as well. And that's what ended up happening then. Definitely, yeah, very much so. She had a lot of influence, and because they had a restaurant as well. And fortunately, I had a little bit of knowledge of how to cook and how to bake. And so then I went on to take a cooking course. And definitely it was her influence that made me decide to open my own restaurant and do the home place. And I have her to be thankful for that, really. I really do appreciate growing up where I did, actually in rural PEI on a farm, and learning how to cook and bake and that type of thing. It was a great influence. I was really surprised. I knew I had, like, what we made seafood stuffed mushrooms. They were stuffed with lobster and cream cheese, and I knew they were really good. But there were other great food items that evening, and when they announced my name as the winner, I was just like, wow, this is awesome. I was just so happy. It was great. It was really a great recognition, I guess, that was bestowed.